This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is
the one that everybody wants, me.
Becky Lynch is going to WrestleMania. Claymore!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. This is my iron. You're gonna acknowledge me.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to this week's main event review hosted by myself, Daniel. I hope you guys have had a lovely weekend, and we are officially less than a month away from WrestleMania, and I have to say I am extremely excited. It looks as though the card is shaping up nicely, and as predicted, gonna bring it out early in the fold, a triple threat match between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, which will be pretty exciting nevertheless. But again, I do feel as though, and like everyone's saying, there needs to be something that has to be attached to this match. Hopefully CM Punk's favor is revealed, and that kind of is the main stipulation of what the match is going to be, whether the winner gets a match into the night 2 of WrestleMania, whether they move this match to the night 1 of the main event, or whether the winner gets a title shot in the future against the winner of Cody Rhodes and John Cena. But we'll have to wait and see. But today we're going to be reviewing the 2 matches that occurred on main event, and a few of the snippets that happened across SmackDown and Raw as of this week as well. So really excited to get into it. As mentioned, the last 2 weeks I've started my own podcast at The Huddle Within. So I'd appreciate you guys checking that out as well. It's available on wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify. We also have a YouTube channel as well that has the videos of the Spotify episodes and the weekly episodes as well. So feel free to check out that. Again, I'll try to leave a link in the description below. But without further ado, I think we can get started with the first match of main event. Again, hosted in Brussels, Belgium, just before the Raw show. We had Zoe Stark against Natalya, and Zoe Stark got the victory here with I think it's a GC30 finisher, the name of it's called, not too sure, but she defeats Natalya here in 5 minutes and 5 seconds in what was a pretty routine match, nothing too crazy going on. The only thing that I found pretty funny was Natalya doing the sucker DX pose to Zoe Stark, which was quite a surprise, and it was cool to see the Belgium crowd popping off and going quite nuts, which I'll talk about later towards the end of the episode. But again, the Belgium crowd really hot for main event, considering the match there. But Zoe Stark getting the victory. Natalya failed the chance to go 3 in a row. She won her last 2 matches on main event, so failed to get her 3rd victory. And doesn't really do much for the 2 of them, if I'm honest. I think if Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler can fight for the tag team champions, there might be something that's worth, but at the moment there isn't much room for them to do anything on Raw, and there's nothing that really catches my eye to see where they can kind of fit into WrestleMania. And again, Natalya also not really having any plans for her in the future as well. I did see something a few weeks back, actually, of her talking about Maxine Dupree on a podcast and saying that, like, something along the lines of her respecting Maxine as a talent, but not really wanting to work with her because she feels as though she can do stuff that's more worth or like higher. But I just kind of think that's pretty weird, because she hasn't really done anything for a very, very long time now. And I think what better way to be a mentor to someone like Maxine Dupree, who right now is just the manager of the Alpha Academy, hasn't really done much in-ring work. It would be great to see them 2 team up and kind of get her mentoring, because I think Natalya is not going to do anything significant for the remainder of her career. I think now she's at the back end, and it's time for her to kind of give back and put superstars over. And I think the stuff that she said about Maxine Dupree was probably harsh. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I think it was quite harsh and doesn't really reflect where she is positioned in the WWE at the moment. Like, she's not going to get a title match anytime soon or do anything significant. So it was just something interesting that I caught out, and her getting the loss here doesn't motivate that either. There's no plans for her. They're not obviously giving her momentum to move forward. So a loss there, and Zoe Stark getting the victory. But that pretty much covers that match. We then move on to SmackDown. It's quite old now, but we've seen DIY take on the Street Profits back in Barcelona for the tag team champions, with the Street Profits getting the victory here. We saw Johnny Gargano accidentally super kick Tommaso Ciampa, which gave Montez Ford the opportunity to perform his splash and get the victory there. Quite a surprise for them to get the victory, but I think with the way they've been coming out since the Elimination Chamber with their new look, kind of something that's a bit different, and I kind of like it too. They've got a bit of an edge and an attitude towards them. They haven't transferred fully to being heels, but you can say they're not as nice as they were before. So pretty serious and aggressive, which is good to see, and I think that was shown in this match, and also since they've come back, and that might have granted them the opportunity to win the tag team championships here. And yeah, a pretty solid back and forth match. The crowd were really into it, and very happy to see, I guess, a title change here. From the events that we saw at SmackDown, we are going to see them defend the title against Pretty Deadly in the UK. And I'm not going to be surprised if I see Pretty Deadly win the titles. The way this is looking to be with the tag team division, which, mind you, has been really, really good, really encapsulating as well with so many different teams getting involved, there obviously is going to be a multi-team match at WrestleMania. So I wouldn't be surprised if Pretty Deadly win in their home crowd in the UK against the Street Profits with a bit of musical chairs for the title, and then ultimately awarding it to someone at WrestleMania. Most likely will be probably the Machine Guns, if I'm honest, because they haven't really been involved in any championship matches, but it's safe to say that we're going to see a multi-team ladder match of some sort for the champions. So far, we've got 5 teams. Maybe there might be a 6, I don't know, but I think 5 teams are locked in as well, with Legado del Fantasma. And Berto is looking a bit, in my opinion, a little bit sus at the moment. He doesn't seem as aggressive as Angel and Santos Escobar, and I feel like Santos Escobar is going to be involved in the match so far. And I don't know if you guys saw a few weeks back, you might have missed it, but he was talking with Andrade after a match. So maybe they might team up as the 6th team. I don't know. That's just something that I'm going to throw out there. But you've got Legado del Fantasma, maybe with Angel and Berto. Then you've got Pretty Deadly, you've got the Motor City Machine Guns, and then you've got DIY and the Street Profits. So a really, really strong tag team storyline as well. Lots of factors involved. Perfect for a WrestleMania ladder match. But again, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits, are the current champions, and I don't mind it one bit. They'll have the chance to defend their title, continue this attitude, and if they are able to run with this, then I don't see why they would lose or drop the title. But again, I just have a feeling that there's going to be a bit of musical chairs when it comes to moving this title around with Pretty Deadly getting the victory here. I could be completely wrong, but I'm definitely certain that they're going to do a multi-tag team championship match at WrestleMania, which will be extremely, extremely exciting to see. We then go to Monday Night Raw, back to Raw, with the main event of the show being Finn Balor against Bron Breakker for the Intercontinental Championship. We see Dominic Mysterio and Carlito getting up to their typical Judgment Day antics, trying to help Finn Balor win the title. But this goes all wrong when Dominic takes Bron Breakker off the corner, and it forces Balor to lose balance and land on his nuts, ultimately costing him the match. And Bron Breakker defending his title and getting the victory here. We then see Judgment Day ambush Bron Breakker, and then Penta coming out to save them. And what I found quite interesting was seeing Dominic Mysterio grab the Intercontinental Championship belt before Penta came out. I don't know if you guys noticed the little smirk he had on his face. But again, I see another a fatal 4-way potentially here for sure. I did say in a few episodes back it was going to be Dominic, Finn, Bron Breakker, and AJ Styles. But it feels as though that it's going to be Penta now. Of course, beating Kaiser. And I did mention that he would go for the title as well. So it made a lot of sense. Penta coming out and then basically clearing out the Judgment Day with Bron Breakker and then facing each other off at the end. It looks like they're going to be fighting for the title together at Glasgow as well. So we're going to see Bron Breakker versus Penta there. and I am certain that there's going to be a disqualification of some sort. I feel as though the Judgment Day are going to come in and interrupt the match because Penta hasn't lost, and I don't think they're going to give away the title to Bron Breakker. I'll give it away before WrestleMania. So definitely look out for the Judgment Day coming into this one. I don't want to make a spoiler, but this is just my personal prediction. And with the tensions that Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio have, that will give a perfect excuse for them two to be involved in the Intercontinental Championship match as well. Obviously, Finn Balor being upset that he got costed the match by Dom, or else he would have won. And then Dom obviously having that feud with Balor, and the way he kind of held that championship was pretty sus, if I'm going to be honest. So they're gonna potentially fight at WrestleMania. That's kind of my prediction. But again, look out for the match tomorrow. If Bron Breakker does win, I'll be very surprised for Penta to get his first loss in a match on Raw. So, yeah, definitely lots of factors to be involved here. But that match is going to be extremely exciting to watch. It's going to be a very good match. I think a big display with Penta being red hot at the moment and Bron Breakker being young and up and coming, and the current Intercontinental Championship champion is going to be very, very exciting. And I'm actually really keen for that match. So, yeah, again, look out for what's going to happen there. We then get snippets of Rhea Ripley coming in and interrupting the contract, putting Io Sky onto Bianca Belair on top of the table, which the table didn't bulge, which was a massive surprise to me. And then we had further conversations backstage, basically Pierce saying that to give the contract back, she's not going to be in the match. But we all know that eventually Rhea Ripley is going to be involved in this triple threat match. It seems as though the beef is mainly with Bianca Belair, but Io Sky is also getting involved, attacking backstage as well. But yeah, we're going to just have to wait and see how Rhea Ripley emerges herself into this. They're obviously resisting that she shouldn't be in it, but again, it's going to happen. So we just have to wait and see as to how that will happen. Maybe we'll find that on next week's Raw, or it'll be probably in the future as well. But again, that little interruption was interesting. With these three, I think the way that's going to go down is Io Sky looks to be the one that will most likely retain, because of the fact that I think Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley are going to get in the way of each other, since they're the ones that are feuding the most. And you can see that the fans are really gravitating towards Io because she's extremely exceptional in the ring. She seems as though she's sort of the quote-unquote underdog, being the smaller one and the one that's not getting the spotlight in this feud. So it just makes total sense if Io Sky retains. But again, we'll have to wait and see as well. I'm waiting for Asuka or Kairi Sane to come back, because that might open up a realm of possibilities for Io Sky to potentially be feuding with those two in the future. I know they're still technically part of Damage Control, but I would love to see a few of the Japanese women's wrestlers get into a little bit of a feud for that championship, and I think they would have an unbelievable match with either or. So yeah, I'm not really sure what's happening. I think Asuka and Kairi Sane still have big injuries, so we'll have to wait and see for that. But again, Io Sky is just red hot at the moment. The fans are gravitating and really loving her, and it makes complete sense because she's honestly probably one of the best in-ring performers at the moment. Honestly, in my opinion, it's probably a hot take, but across both men and women's divisions, I think she has been the standout in-ring last year and this year as well. So I think they'll continue to keep going moving forward, and I think that wouldn't be the wrong decision either. We then get back onto main event. With they call them Mr. Main Events, as the commentator said, Otis and Akira Tozawa, the Alpha Academy, coming up against the War Raiders. And I think the War Raiders being on here isn't the worst thing, because there's obviously been so much that's happening across Raw and SmackDown that they haven't had their chance to get any TV time. So it's good to see them on main event getting matches still and still building momentum. They get the victory here in 6 minutes and 27 seconds. With the War Machine as the finisher, as expected. But what I'd love to say is that the crowd was really gunning for Otis here. The Belgium crowd was up and about for Otis the whole time, and up and about as a whole across both shows, to be fair. So yeah, Otis getting all the momentum here, but again, the victory was always going to go to the current World Tag Team Champions there. And they haven't really mentioned anything about them, whether they're going to fight at WrestleMania or not. But yeah, there's no real feud or plans. I know they just came off a small little run with American Made, defending their titles. But the only opponents that really make sense for them and I think should beat them is the New Day. And we haven't seen them here either, but I think the New Day and the War Raiders will make a perfect match for the title. Give the New Day back the championship and kind of get this heel run going with some gold around their waists and them performing some heel antics to keep their titles with constant unfair victories and cheating and etc. So hopefully we can see the New Day take on the War Raiders, and if not, hopefully we can see the War Raiders actually defend their title at WrestleMania. Doesn't seem like there's going to be space for them, but why wouldn't we see a title defense or a title match at WrestleMania? It just doesn't seem to make sense. Maybe they can put them on the pre-show or something, but I think the War Raiders need an opponent, and what better opponent than the current New Day, who are heel. It's a face versus heel. It makes complete sense to me. Just the way they're going to do it is going to be something interesting. Maybe there's going to have to be a number one contendership match, or maybe the New Day just decide that they're going to call out the War Raiders for those titles. But yeah, the War Raiders getting the victory here. The Alpha Academy continue to be the main event staple, not getting victories, but getting a lot of heat. I still want Otis to do something significant, hopefully in the future, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case anytime soon, which is quite unfortunate. But we then move on to just a little preview of what's going to happen in Glasgow, Scotland, with Jey Uso and a mystery opponent taking on A-Town Down Under. And all I'm going to say, if it's not Joe Hendry, there is going to be major frustrations from me, because why would they do a mystery opponent and not give it to Joe Hendry, who is from Scotland, the hometown hero, coming back to WWE and fighting A-Town Down Under would be something amazing. The crowd would give a massive pop, and it'd be something interesting. But I think one thing I must mention, and I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but you guys probably don't know who Joe Welly is. He's a YouTuber. He has recently been on Logan Paul's podcast mentioning that he wants to be a part of WWE. There has been a few back and forth tweets with him and Austin Theory. Grayson Waller, the Aussie icon. Grayson Waller calling him a flog and everything. So maybe he might be the opponent, just to have that make it a little bit spicy between him and Grayson Waller. But that might not be the case, because obviously Joe Waller is from the UK, and they're going to be having a match at SmackDown in the UK as well. Or in London. Scotland's in the UK, but in London, as I mean, he's from England. So I think Joe Hendry makes the most sense. But something tells me it's going to be someone like Sami Zayn to surprise everyone, but everyone be disappointed in that. So again, we'll have to wait and see. Excited for that. We also have the Intercontinental Championship match between Raquel Rodriguez and Lyra Valkyria, which I suspect Lyra Valkyria will win that match easily. So again, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And we finally close off the show with, yes, John Cena's promo. They end the main event here, but it did start with this at Raw, but a main event they closed the show with this, which makes complete sense. John Cena comes out to his own music, which didn't really surprise me, but at the same time I was hoping for a bit of a full change of heel music and etc. And I did mention how this was going to go in a European crowd. I thought it would have been better to have it at the home crowd and see their reactions, but boy, was I wrong. The crowd, as I mentioned at the start of the podcast and even towards the middle, went off, and they continued to go off. They obviously cheered when his music came out for the first 2 seconds, and then immediately it changed to boos, and everyone was giving John Cena a lot of heat, which was fantastic to see. Singing the John Cena sucks into the melody of his song, lots of boos, and just perfect. John Cena came out, delivered his promo, and basically was acting like the victim, which was a massive surprise too. I would have thought he would explain his actions in a more sympathetic way, or more to just say why he did it, but he didn't even mention why he actually attacked Cody Rhodes and sold his soul to The Rock. He basically just mentioned how he's been given the fans everything for 25 years, and they've basically been abusing him. They've been saying, like, they've been making invisible jokes for him for so long. Basically just crying and saying that, yeah, he wasn't able to be himself. He did it all for the fans, and yeah, now they deserve nothing. So we don't get his new music. We don't get no new clothes, new outfits, and it's kind of a smart way to keep the merch, because my biggest concern, well, I think WWE's biggest business concern would have been if they were to turn John Cena heel and stop giving out merch, they would lose so much money in merchandise. John Cena, in his promo, perfectly allowed the WWE to still sell his merch, and people are still going to buy it because it's his last year. So they're still going to make a shit ton of money with the merch that he has, while still being this heel. So yeah, amazing work there. He mentions that it's his music, it's the way he looks, and everyone dresses like him. He doesn't dress like everyone else. And then we get Cody Rhodes coming out and delivering a very effective promo. Again, I don't understand why. Well, in hindsight, yes, if we take out the storyline purpose, like he's not going to obviously attack John Cena before WrestleMania, because obviously they want to protect him as much as possible. But when you've got attacked brutally by Travis Scott and John Cena, literally get kicked in the nuts, punched in the face with a Rolex twice, hit with the belt twice, literally got your clothes ripped out, and the first thing you don't do is come out to attack that person, it's a big surprise. But again, Cody Rhodes remains calm, basically doesn't let John Cena talk, which is probably good for his sake, because John Cena could have probably annihilated him in this section due to his unreal promo work. But basically said that he wants to look for the 16-time champion John Cena, not this whiny little B, which was effective and to the point. They both end up, Cody Rhodes ends up walking out, and John Cena walks out as well. And I'm sure we're going to see more promos between the two of them. Hopefully some brawls, but I don't think this feud needs to have the same brawls as what we've seen in other feuds with security pulling people back and holding the fighters back. It does get too much, and I think for these two, I don't think it's necessary. I think the war of words is going to be something that is much more effective there. And yeah, we're getting really close. I don't know when The Rock is going to come back. Hopefully The Rock comes back soon and has something to say with this. And hopefully we get to see what John Cena has to say with aligning with The Rock. Because again, he didn't really mention that in the promo. Which makes sense, because I think we're going to get to that slowly. Especially with another probably 8 or so episodes of shows between SmackDown and Raw. It does seem as though John Cena is only going to be featured in the Raw shows, which doesn't make sense given that Cody Rhodes is technically a SmackDown superstar. But again, Netflix probably had a say in that one. But yeah, we're getting closer, guys. We're getting closer to WrestleMania, and yeah, I'm just really keen to be able to review this with Main Event as well. It does make the episodes go for a lot longer, and gives my kind of opinions as well. So happy that Main Event is allows me to do this. But yeah, the shows are still good. The matches in Main Event are still entertaining, and gonna keep you guys posted on those every single week. So feel free to check those out. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it too. But yeah, I guess that will be all for this week's episode of the Main Event Review. Again, feel free to check out my other project, The Huddle Within. It's a podcast that goes into the sports, but beyond kind of like the surface level entertainment, like the normal hot takes and whatnot. We go deep, we go into the psychological aspect, we go into how it kind of transforms lives. And I also have a few different type of guests, more Australian type guests. So I'd be interested to see kind of those type of people, very Aussie themed, if you guys are from another world, just to see how kind of we operate. But looking to bring more guests in the future, hopefully from different parts of the globe and with different sporting backgrounds and even potential athletes as well. So yeah, feel free to check that out. I'll leave hopefully a link in the description below. But again, I will catch you guys next week for another Main Event review. And I hope you guys all have a pleasant week as well. Cheers.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app.
so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.